I am Heidi Benjaminsen, your host of Confidence Coaching, a podcast for mothers who want to stay calm and anchored during the teenage years. Life isn't a spectator sport. Success comes to those who show up every day with a pocket full of courage, grit, and a little sparkle. I'm glad you're here. Hello. Welcome to episode 166, Staying Off the Teenage Emotional Roller Coaster. How are you doing? Welcome to my listeners everywhere. I always love it if you reach out to me and you tell me what episodes or topics or examples are helping you stay emotionally anchored, helping you stay in your lane with your teens, with your spouse, with your neighbor, all of it. I hope your fall is full of beautiful colors, cooler weather, if that's what you like. Fall is always a beautiful example that change is possible for everyone. Fall looks different for all of us, and it's always so beautiful. Change always comes. I am finishing the curriculum for a Stay in Your Lane signature program. I'm starting a wait list for people interested. I don't have the details put up on a landing page just yet. DM me if you want the details as I finalize them. It is taking everything you hear on the podcast and much more and detailing exactly how to implement in your specific life with your specific situations. I'm beginning with private one-on-one sessions for this program. It is going to be fantastic. Recently, I was talking with a friend who has followed my social media for years, and we rarely can connect in real life. We were having a real in-life conversation about topics that were non-coaching related, and she said, "Hey, before we end our conversation, I want you to know there's something that you've said over the years that has really helped me." She said, "You always say our teens are on their emotional roller coaster, and we don't need to get on the roller coaster with them." She said that has helped her stay anchored and calm as she has navigated these years with her teens. So I thought today I would give you a specific thing to say to yourself, mantras, calming and anchoring tools to keep you calm and off the roller coaster. Or maybe help you get off the roller coaster when your teen invites you on to the roller coaster with them. Before I get into these, let's just set the stage for what is going on for our teens and their emotions. Their hormones are swinging wildly. Their brains are developing. It is normal that they are using external sources as their primary sense of self. They have yet to really mature into primarily looking inward for their self-esteem, for their sense of belonging. Teens hyper-focus on what others might think of them. All of this is developmentally normal. Now, of course, I'm generalizing. Our teens will manifest some of these traits more in certain years and might outgrow or mature out of some of these insecurities faster than others. All of that is normal as well. And at the same time, we are the adults in the picture. Our teens are looking to us, even if we don't think so and they don't admit it. They are looking to us to see how they're doing, to regulate their emotions, to provide them with a guidepost if they're okay. I'll say it may rarely or never seem like they care about us or care what we think, and nothing could be further from the truth. They need us to be regulated and in control, even if we're feeling negative or heightened emotions. Our teens need to know that we are not afraid of our emotions and their emotions. Notice, I never said it's normal for us to like this emotional roller coaster. It can be draining, exhausting, irritating, frustrating. That's normal for mothers of teens. We have to normalize that we are all unsure if we're doing the right thing. We're all trying our best, and more often than not, we're doing a much better job than we really appreciate that we are. So here are 5 or 6 things to say to yourself to stay anchored, to stay calm and regulated as your child jumps on the hormonal roller coaster. First, tell yourself over and over, "My teen is feeling this way and nothing has gone wrong." Say over and over, "My son is angry and he can feel that way. He's allowed to be upset. His girlfriend dumped him. It's normal for my daughter to feel wildly insecure as she gets dressed for homecoming. It's normal for my son to stress out about the test he didn't prepare for. Whatever your child is feeling, or what you think they're feeling, the emotion that is filling your house, tell yourself they get to feel this and it is normal. This is one way to keep your feet on the platform, stay calm, and let them ride the roller coaster. Much of the pain we create for ourselves comes from us thinking other people should not be feeling what they're feeling. Just because we would not feel a certain way in that situation doesn't mean it isn't right for this person to react that way. It's very dysregulating when someone tells us to calm down when we're super stressed or anxious. This is the equivalent of telling someone their feelings are wrong and not normal. Our problems are different, but imagine you're super stressed because you don't have enough money to pay your mortgage or rent, and someone tells you that you should not be stressed or anxious. We want to punch this person. It's invalidating of how normal human emotions work. Now, it's the same for our teens. The words we might say are simple, and do pay attention to your tone of voice. The tone communicates a lot to their nervous system. Say things like, yeah, I'd be disappointed also if I didn't get the SAT score I wanted. Yeah, I'd be upset if I got a text like that too. Yeah, I can see why you feel that way. Very simple. Don't try to change how they feel. You stay on the platform calmly and let them feel the emotion. The second thing to tell yourself to stay anchored is this. They are feeling this way and I do not need to feel this way. My son is nervous about his interview and I do not need to be nervous. My daughter is lonely in her new school and I do not need to feel lonely for her. My son is feeling anxious about grades, about friends, about whatever, and I do not need to feel anxious. Notice you may choose to feel that way, but you don't need to. You're creating separation for yourself to see their emotions, to see them, and have a pause to choose how you want to feel. All of these mantras are creating this pause, this space to get in control of our emotions. Worry and anxiety are such contagious emotions. Our brains and nervous systems have mirror neurons that will unconsciously mirror back these emotions unless we intentionally manage them. I used this tool a lot as our family would prepare to go on the boat with my dad during the summer. His default emotion as we prepared for a trip was heightened stress. I remember actively telling myself, he's stressed and I don't need to be stressed. I would say it over and over. This gave me time to assess if I saw any reason to be stressed. I could assess if we were running late or anything else that might be a problem. And if I saw a problem, I could assess if stress would be a useful emotion. Even though my dad is not a teenager, this anchored me to stay off his boat trip preparation roller coaster, which is okay for him to be on. I got to decide if I wanted to get on or not. Okay, the third thing to say over and over is they are angry and I'm not making them feel this way. They are irritated and I am not making them feel this way. My son is feeling annoyed and I'm not making him feel this way. My daughter is sad, is down, and I am not making them feel this way. Whatever it is, we have to remind ourselves that their bodies, their hormones, their nervous systems, how they are experiencing their life is what is creating what they are feeling. Our emotional experience is separate from theirs. Do we have the ability to help regulate their emotions? Absolutely. To do this, we have to remind ourselves that we are in control of ourselves and they are in control of themselves. Y'all, this one can be hard. Our kids will want us to think that we are making them feel a certain way. Maybe they want to guilt us. Maybe they want us to do something that they want. Adults do this too. Unless we're taught to manage our own emotions, we can think that other people doing or saying something will change how we feel. And yes, it may have influence, but it doesn't have control. How many times have we been very sad? We buy an outfit, we're happy for a hot second from the dopamine hit, then we're back to being sad. Because clothes don't regulate our emotions. We do, our bodies, our brains, our own systems within us. Last year, one of our sons was very upset that my husband and I wouldn't change our mind about a big school decision. He was upset. He tried a lot of persuasion, even mild manipulation. He was all over the roller coaster, and I kept reminding myself he's creating this experience for himself. I am not making him feel upset, even though he really wanted me to feel that way, so I changed my mind. We stayed anchored as parents. We let him ride his ride, and we let him create whatever emotions in his body. We were considerate. We told him we understood why he might be upset, and we stood by our decision. I can't emphasize this enough. Our kids need us to be steady. This doesn't mean that we don't change our mind or change rules from time to time if we get new information as they grow. But they need to see us doing this from a steady and regulated place, not from an exasperated and manipulated place. When we are firm and steady, our kids feel safe. And above all else, we are all seeking safety. We can create this safety more readily if we separate our emotions from theirs. Now, I've definitely given myself timeouts or excused myself from heightened arguments or situations when I felt myself getting out of control or dysregulated. This is another way for me to stay off the roller coaster. The fourth thing to tell ourselves as our kids get angry, I keep using that emotion, we have to remind ourselves it will pass. They will not always feel this way. A few weeks ago, one of my sons was feeling very inadequate and less than capable in a situation. I reminded myself he wouldn't always feel this way, and his capacity and the discomfort of the situation was going to pass. We will stay off the roller coaster if we let them ride as long as they need to, knowing that, like all rides at a park, the ride does end, and often the ride is shorter than expected. I've had to say no to a lot of things my daughter asks me to buy her. She can often be disappointed, and I remind myself her disappointment will pass. It isn't a problem I need to solve that she's disappointed. She's getting nervous for the PSAT test this week. I can see it. The nervousness will pass. One son got test scores back that were very disappointing after a lot of studying. I saw his disappointment and I let him sit with them. I validated how he felt and that the feelings would pass in time. I didn't tell him that he shouldn't feel that way. I just saw how he was feeling and I knew he wouldn't always feel that way. I've myself stayed anchored in bigger emotions by reminding myself they would pass as well. Emotions are here to show me something. They're just a data point, and if we don't resist them, they'll be gone in a minute or two. The last thing I want you to remember and tell yourself over and over is that our teens really need us to not be afraid of their emotions. They are trying to figure out what the heck is going on in their bodies. They aren't always sure why they're responding the way they are. If we are scared of their emotions, if we think it's a problem and want to fix or change how they will feel alone in their emotions, and they'll look for ways to numb or avoid these emotions in the future. Our world is full of access to numbing sources, drugs, alcohol, media in excess, all of the vices that provide quick hits of fake positivity and create negative long-term results. Now, this isn't to say if your child has a problem with these things that you are the source of it. Not saying that at all. But I am saying we do have influence over helping them feel the normal human emotions in healthy manners if we can be calm and regulated as they flip and turn and drop and swing all over. If we can face these emotions head on, they see a model of this and will know it's possible that they can also face those emotions head on. I cry in front of my children. I name and face a lot of difficult emotions if the circumstance calls for it, so they can see we're all going to feel every human emotion from time to time. I wish I hadn't put my children in timeout for feeling bigger emotions when they were smaller. I actually have little memory of how I handled these emotions, these situations. Knowing as I do know more now, I wish I had had insight to sit with them in the bigness and scariness of these big emotions. They don't want to feel alone in them. If anything, our kids need more time with us, not less time. Let me know as you listen to this. Let me know how you stay off the emotional roller coaster. Let me know how you help your teens feel less alone in their emotions. We can be in the seat next to them physically and not be on the roller coaster. It's actually very healthy and regulating to have a calming presence witness and validate what we are experiencing. And what is really amazing is when we do this, the rides for our kids don't go on and on. They end faster. And we'll be proud of how we stayed in control. That's it for this week. If you would like information about my Stay in Lane program, sign up for a consult at HeidiBenjaminsen.com or DM me on social media. A confident mother is the greatest gift to her family, not a perfect mother. Our families want us to feel confident, anchored, and calm. I can help you uncover this version of yourself. Have a great week.